Welcome back to my channel. I'm Venus from Hearts to Desire by Venus, and we are on day 2 of our making a hybrid journal. So last time we made the internal spine here. We cut the chipboard pieces to make our book, and now we're going to assemble. So what I'm going to do is, had to think there for a minute, is I'm going to cut a Tyvek piece here. I like to have the outer spine of the book, because you're opening it so much, I like to have a Tyvek reinforcement here. So we're going to cut a piece. This is 2 inches. I usually have a 1/4 inch in between my spines here, and then onto the page I like to do at least 1 inch there. So we're looking at 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to cut a piece that's 5 inches wide. And remember, we did do this cover at, I do believe, did we do it at 9? Let me just get my ruler here. Yeah, at 9 inches tall. So 9 inches tall by 5 inches wide. Just move these out of the way. So I'm using, remember last time I talked to you about the Tyvek envelopes. Now you can use, some people just use fabric in there to reinforce their spines. It's really up to you. I just happen to get these at the local stationery store years ago. And it's taken me a while to work through this. I think it came with like 100 sheets or something. I know they thought I was absolutely crazy for wanting a whole box, but you know, it's definitely come in useful. And I save all my little pieces because you never know. So because it's an envelope, when I cut it down, I've actually got 2 pieces like this, which is good because this is actually a pretty standard size for me of books I make. So I will have one already pre-done in my stash. So I'm just cutting open. All right, so we'll use that one. The other one goes in my thing for later. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my spine here that we created, and I'm going to tape it around the outsides. And again, you can do solid glue if you want, but I did explain why I like tape and glue in previous videos, so I won't go over that again. Okay, just make sure you've got full contact with the tape. That's the only thing. And there we go. I'm just going to take off the sticky tape. Make sure I'm in focus when I'm doing all this. Okay, and I'm going to put a bead of glue down the middle parts. Come on, glue. Yeah. And I like to be pretty generous on it because you do not want this to peel up later or anything. Come on, my glue just doesn't want to cooperate this morning. All right, there we go. I should maybe put it upside down so that it will stay fresher that way. Okay, so, and I'm just going to lay this piece right down the middle of the Tyvek and just flip it over, and I'm just going to make sure it is adhered. Okay, so at this point you can do several things. You could do a 1/4 inch line on here, which, you know, from the spacing you could score it, do that. That's up to you to draw it. I cheat. I have 1/4 inch score tape, and all I do is run a bead of it right down the side here of the cardboard. So this will give me my measurement of a 1/4 inch gap between the pages, and that just allows them to flex and open properly. So just stick that down. So then you can see here, you've got your back spine, you've got your 1/4 inch gap, and then this is the flap that I'm going to adhere to the covers. So we are going to just basically run a piece of tape on the one corner, run a piece of tape on the edge here. Make sure they're all secure. And peel this off, peel this off. And again with my glue, get it in the gaps so everything is nice and secure. Okay. And then you're going to flip it so the tape side will be sticking to here. And you're going to just line it up with that 1/4 inch tape mark. Just run it right beside the 1/4 inch tape mark, up and down. So now you can see this is what allows me that perfect 1/4 inch measurement in between my covers. And then I just flip it over, make sure, oop, too much glue, too much glue. There we go. Definitely had lots of glue. Get that off there so I'll stick to it. And we're going to do the same thing for the other side here, okay? This is just basic, a basic cover we're doing. Again, tape there. Tape here, secure everything. Peel it off. And glue in the gap. And not so much near the ends this time. There. Flip your piece over so that your sticky side is actually on the tie back. Line it up and secure it. So you can see it doesn't take much to make the covers. I do use book covers. I've previously done books and alter those as well, but for this kind, when I'm adding in a journal signature in the middle of my hybrids, I do prefer to construct it myself so that I can make sure I get it exactly the way I want. Okay, so now you've got your tie back reinforcement, so this will be here. So now at this stage, I like to cover my books. So I'm going to cover with this cork fabric I've got. I've done it in previous videos. I just got it at the local fabric store, which, yes, I happen to work there. So I see all the new treasures coming in. Sometimes that's not a good thing. So I'm just going to cut a piece that will roughly fit my book, because you want to make sure you have enough for fold over in all directions. So I'm just going to... Yeah, see, and you got to watch here because the salvage on here, I'm actually going to trim that salvage back so that I'm not wasting. I think I'm just going to trim it so that I make sure I get the full cork. But you can cover with paper, you can cover with any kind of fabric. I just happen to have this cork fabric, and I think it's going to work really nice with my themes here that I'm going for. So making sure I've got enough on this side and I have enough on that side. And this is just a rough cut. We're going to fine tune this as we go here. But this is just to make sure that I have enough of what I need. Okay. So at this point, we're just going to make sure all salvages are good so that I'm not worrying about that. I'm going to flip my book over and we are going to tape and glue again. So I'm going to run tape around all 4 edges of my cover here. Get it all in there. All 4 edges. And then I like to do is either side of that gusset. Now, it's probably not showing. Oh, it is showing up on the screen here. I like to just secure it there. So I'm going to run one on one side, one on one side, because you want to be able to get the fabric in these grooves. So, and then I run it on the inside as well, just so that I'm making sure that those spots are definitely going to be secure. Okay, so then I'm just going to peel off all my tape. All of the inside ones. You can see it's not taking very long to make these covers. Just a little bit of organization, that's all. So now I'm going to run glue wherever that tape is not, because I do want this to be firm in place. I am going to stitch, but you don't have to stitch, but I still like to glue it even though, because, you know, sometimes things will move or you change your mind, so and you can't go back and take it apart and re-glue it if you've changed your mind. So, and again, there's a lot of people out there who don't like to sew their books. I just really like to. So this is totally an option for you to, if you're not going to sew, definitely make sure you do this nice. Okay, so I'm going to take it so that I at least have 2 inches on for fold over. And I'm just going to place it at the top. You can see I got more here and here because I didn't want to have my piece too short. So I will trim off accordingly, but I'm just going to make sure that's in there nicely. And now I'm just going to, oh my God, I've got 1 1/4 inches. That's perfect. So I'm just going to draw my lines here so I know where I'm cutting off the excess, and then this way it's the biggest piece possible I'm leaving here so that I can reuse the extra bits of this cork for tags or other things, you know. So now I'm just going to trim my fabric scissors, and you see you got a couple of good pieces here. You could use it for embellishments. I'm sure we'll probably use it for some tags or stuff inside. All right, so there is that. So now you've got your basis of your cover here. So now what I do again is I'm going to tape all the way around the outer edges so that it'll be secure, and then we will glue again. So I'm just going to take these. And you can get it close to there. I've got a bit of a wow there. So again, just secure these in place. Okay, now where is my handy dandy tool? We need to miter the corners. And of course, where did I leave my corner tool? I actually have the cutest little tool here for mitering because I'm not that good on the numbering, figuring it out. So let me just put you on hold here, and I'm going to try and find my tool to show you so I can do this. Okay, so I found my ruler. I won't even tell you where. It's called the perfecttrimruler.com. I'll see if I can find the link and put it on there. I mean, I guess perfecttrimruler.com would be the link, but it's got all different sizes depending on what size you want to do your corners for. So I always do mine at 0.25 of an inch. And what you do is you put it on your book cover here, line it up perfectly. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. And then this is the part where you're going to draw your line here, and this is the part you're going to cut off. And that you can see it just leaves you a perfect 1/4 of an inch on the corners. Again, you could do this with anything, you know, measure it out yourself manually. I just have this tool. It's perfect. Plus, it's also got it so you can miter for, you know, other things. Sometimes you might want a bigger overlap if it's a thicker fabric, but this is usually what I use, is the 1/4 inch. It's the best tool. I think it was like something ridiculous, like $6-7. So for that, and I've had this for years and I love it. Okay, so now, and yes, I did tape right to the corners here, and some of you are probably saying, oh, that's a bit of a waste. I know, but what it is it ensures that I have the tape right exactly where I want it, and I'm willing to sacrifice that little bit of tape for that to make sure that I am right to the edge. Okay, so we're just going to cut these off. Like that. Perfect. And I will end up saving those little bits because I will use them for something else, I'm sure. Okay, so now we've got it ready for there. Now we just got to prep the inner part. So here is where, if you drew the lines, you wouldn't have to do this step. But because I put the tape in there, we're going to flip the tape right out. Okay, so just pick your tape out. It might be a little snug in there, getting it out, because we're going to actually press our fabric into that. Ooh, I ripped that part. Let's just get that out there. So you want that sticky tape out of there so that you can, or the cover, so you can use the sticky tape. And now I'm going to do the same thing I did with the outside part of the cover here. Is I'm going to go around all 4 sides with my 2-sided tape. And you're going to run right over these, but you're going to push it right down into where we took that tape out, okay? And just push it right in there with your finger, get it worked in, because the cover is going to be sucked right into there. So we want to make sure that we do not skip that stage. Okay, so right along the edge, make sure we stick it in that groove. You could use your bone folder or something. I just find my fingernail gets it in there nice, okay? And we're just going to, again, make sure you're secure down. Okay, here we go. Peel off all the tape bits. If I can get this one started. There. Peel off all the tape bits. Now, if you were just straight gluing, you would skip this step and catch up with me in a minute here. Okay. And you've got to get the inside ones out. All right. Oops. Okay, so now we're going to glue. And we're going to glue on the gaps here between the cover and the tape. And we're just going to glue all sides here. Maybe a little bit more. Okay. And then I always start with the top and the bottom, the long sides. And basically I'm going to just pull it up. Flip it around here. And I use my bone folder to just make sure I'm pretty crisp. And I'm just going to roll it along here, because you want to make sure you're exactly up on that cover. So you're just going to push it right into the cover so you get a nice crisp edge there. And again, flip it around. We're going to do the other long side. And I always just like to start in the middle and just pull it so you know you're getting that crisp edge there, because sometimes, yeah, I've done it where you've got a little bit of a buckle and you don't really want that. So we're just gonna make sure we've got the super crisp line. Okay, now we're at the part here. You can see where your corner down there. So these are the corners we mitered. You can see there's that 1/4 inch gap. And basically I'm just taking my bone folder. You can use a craft knife or whatever. I'm just kind of crushing it down and in. And the same thing on this side, down and in, folding them so that when I push this over, you can see There we go. You can see I'm getting that crisp corner. So, and I'm going to just push those out. And if you find you get a little bit of a flappy part, we come back and we glue that part. I'm not going to worry because I'm going to stitch, like I said. So, but here we go. We're just going to tuck that corner piece in, and we're going to just fold it. Oh, get that one in. Fold it and use your boom folder here or something, a ruler, and just get that crisp edge. Perfect. So then you can see we have got a perfectly nice cover. So at this point, you can stitch, you can add on if you wanted to add more stuff on here. This is the time to do it before we start putting any hinges or signatures in. So right now I'm just going to, I think I'm going to end here today because we made the cover. This way I can ponder how I'm going to embellish the front here because I'm going to stitch and embellish that, and you got to do it at this stage. So don't forget to hit that like button. Hopefully this is going well for you and I'm explaining this well enough. And don't forget to hit that subscribe if you have not already subscribed so you know what I'm doing when I'm doing it. And I will see you again here soon. Have a great day.